Hey everybody, it's the fat man in Vegas. I go by Grouchy, I go by a lot of things, but I like to call myself the fat man in Vegas. Anyway, I'm sitting here listening to a podcast where the fine young gents are talking about couch co-op and what it is that makes it so special for them. And I'm driving home and I'm just thinking to myself that, couch co-op was one of my favorite things about video gaming. And when I was no longer able to play games in this mode, that's pretty much when I took like a few years off where I barely played anything. It was, games just weren't as fun. Yeah, there was online with some buddies and whatnot, but, when you have someone sitting right next to you, and you're able to trash talk them, and you can smack them on the arm or knock the controller out of their hands if they're doing a little too good, that right there is the best gaming there possibly can be. It's one of the reasons why I love playing stuff like Skylanders and Lego Dimensions with my kid, because we can sit there and we can play, and when he gets frustrated, I can help him out, and I can make it look like I need help so that he can help me out as well. It's like, these are the best games. So I was thinking about it, and oh yeah, I forgot to mention this podcast. It's called Generational Gamers. Main guy in it is Johnny Casino, who is also in the podcast Shelved and Forgotten, that I love a lot. But anyway, like I was saying, so when I started gaming, I was just a young lad playing games like Super Mario 3, stuff like that, where you got to pass the controller back and forth and take turns. But it wasn't until I started playing with friends, playing stuff like Tecmo Super Bowl, that's when I really got my start with couch co-op. And this is when like a big love of gaming hit me. Later in life there were sports games. Me and buddies, we ran through seasons of Madden over and over. I played hockey seasons, but much like was discussed in the podcast, Halo 1. Like, now I'm gonna let you know that I hate first-person shooters. I'm awful at them, and a lot of people loved to play them when we were in college. Everybody got the N64 out, and they played GoldenEye, and every once in a while, in between beers, I would play GoldenEye with them, but the problem was, I was the dude that got shot and died all the time. I'd have like 2 kills, but I would have been killed 47 times or some crap like that. So that's where my hate of first-person shooters started. I didn't like them, wasn't good at them. However, a game like Halo came around. Now, the whole reason I picked up the Xbox was me and a buddy went to a pawn shop. It was sitting there. We picked up Halo, Brute Force, and the Xbox, and we ran through Halo 1 completely in couch co-op mode. Never played it alone. It was amazing. At one point, we picked up Halo 2. And we only got halfway through it because, honestly, the game was a lot more boring. But not only in just the co-op mode, but, man, loved playing Halo, taking our Xbox down to a buddy's house. There'd be 4 of us in 4 different rooms with the systems all linked up together. And, somewhere between 2 and 4 people per Xbox, playing up to 16-player multiplayer maps. That was a lot of fun, and it made me lessen my hatred towards these first-person shooters and competitive play, even though to this day I still don't play competitive. Another shooter game that I really loved the co-op on was Borderlands. That game was probably the most fun I've ever had with a controller in my hands and playing with buddies. At one point in my living room, I had 2 Xbox 360s hooked up to 2 different TVs so that me and someone else were playing, and then playing with 2 buddies across the country who I haven't seen in years, and we ran through the entire game playing, not only couch co-op, but online couch co-op with extra people. So that's just a brief history of me and couch co-op, and I honestly think it's the greatest way to play video games ever. So more places need to put more, not places, but Sony and Microsoft, and they just need to add more of this couch co-op to video games instead of internet only. Internet only bores me. I don't get to sit there and get that same feeling. Yeah, it's nice. I can put in Diablo 3 and play with my buddy back in Pennsylvania, and we have a good time. But it's not the same as when he comes and visits and he's sitting right next to me. If we're playing online, we can play for a couple hours and then we stop for the day. When we're sitting next to each other, we can play for 8 to 10 hours straight. Never gets boring. Absolutely loves it. That's another reason. Huge fan of Nintendo. They don't forget what makes gaming fun. So, not an entire history, but that's a brief summary of some of the games that I've really loved. And I really love the fact that Generational Gamers brought this up, and the fact that I was bored enough to record this video while driving home. Hope y'all like it. Catch you on the other side.